Turkey Valley Trojans will open up district play. They'll travel up to Key High this Friday night. Mark Scott, head coach of the Trojans, joining us. You went down to West Des Moines last Saturday night, coach. Took on a very talented Fremont Mills team. We saw the result of the game. You broke down the film. What did the film tell you?
Well, we were young and we knew that, and we had some mental errors in there, and and we knew that kids didn't really understand the speed and physicality of the game was going to be. We got better as the game went on, but you know we'll get better. I mean, it's just a matter of they were ready to go, and they were a little more experienced and had kids a few better athletes than we did.
Just basically, long story longer, was it just a classic case of a little bit of on the job training for a lot of your guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, one very big positive the other night was the passing game. The connections you made between Logan Busta and JD Cruzy on those three long touchdown passes, 213 yards passing, and I believe JD had about 190 yards receiving. What made that connection work for you last week?
Well, I mean, obviously they played together last year. Those two are the two of the ones that have had some experience playing last year, and um, it's just timing, and it kind of helped a little bit. We caught them off guard on a couple of plays there, but um, yeah, I mean, they work on it in practice, and like I said, those are two that played last year, and they connected a few times last year also.
And what's the approach heading into week number two now that you have a little bit of a baseline of what this team can do and where this team needs to go? How do you go about correcting some of the things you saw on Saturday night?
That's practice, pointed out in film, and kids have got good attitudes. They want to be better. So and one of the big things we talked about is making sure you're talking to each other on the field. Offensive line talk to each other, your defensive backs talk to each other. A couple of scores we gave up were simply because we had two guys covering one guy and nobody covering somebody else. So you got to make sure you talk and let each other know who's got what.
And I've talked to veteran coaches about that communication factor in various sports over the years, and you've been around quite a long time. Is that communication thing more difficult now than it used to be?
I think it just depends on the kids you have. I
Okay.
mean, like last year they were pretty good about talking, and these kids will get there. They just didn't, it's their personalities are a little more reserved sometimes.
Yeah.
And once again, when you're young, you're not, a little inexperienced. You're not sure if you should be the one telling somebody else where they need to be or
And
who they're
that's
supposed to cover.
and that's why you have on the job training like you've
Yeah.
got going on right now with the young football team. Coach, you open up your district play as you head up to Key High this Friday night. What are you expecting out of the Keyhawks?
Well, they're big up front. They got a very athletic quarterback. They got a couple good receivers. They've had our number here lately, so we're gonna have to go out and play well and try to get a turnover somewhere along the line, and tackle well. Don't lose coverage. Know who you have.
All right, Coach. Hopefully, you can get things going in the right direction this week. Ought to be a fun ball game up in Lansing on Friday night. Keep your guys healthy. We wish you best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Mark Scott, head coach of the Turkey Valley Trojans, district opener at Key High Friday night.